Yeah, champ. So welcome back to the channel where within today's video, I'm going to be talking you through the 4 steps that you can take to finally create motivation that you feel like you've been lacking on your fat loss journey or your overall health and fitness journey altogether. Because as of late, I've been having a lot of conversations with men and women in the DMs and messaging when they've inquired, as well as new clients who've just come in who are massively struggling with motivation. All motivation has always been the one, let's say, roadblock that's held them back from getting to exactly where they want to be, on the fat loss journey as well. So that is my goal within this lesson and this training today, is talk you through exactly how you can be motivated 80-90% of the time and actually be able to hold motivation right the way throughout your weight loss journey as well. Because I'm seeing it more and more lately, the hustle harder bros and the coaches who've never experienced what it's like to struggle with motivation and struggle with dropping body fat, just telling people that it's discipline. Motivation can get created, and that's exactly what we're going to be talking through today as well. And we're going to put the narrative of you always just need to be disciplined to bed once and for all. And let's get ourselves straight into this so I can show you exactly how we do this. So let me just flick over onto the iPad and we're going to be diving into this straight away. So as you're going to see on screen right now, step number 1, and this is something that we do inside the Unbecoming project with all of our clients that we work with as well through the Unbecoming roadmap. We set achievable goals, okay? So this is one of the biggest ones that I always tend to see for so many people, is set achievable goals. A lot of the time, people are setting goals that are basically like marathon goals straight away from the off, where this is where we do things differently inside the Unbecoming project as well. We always set micro goals that allow us to get to the very end goal as well. So we always like to look at goals across 6 months. So what's the 1 month goal? So what's the 1 month goal? So what do we want to achieve within that first month? The 3 month goal. And then what's the 6 month goal? Doing this actually allows you to be able to break down your journey and make it feel a little bit more, let's say, achievable. Because let's say, for example, you go straight into your weight loss journey and, you know, your biggest goal at the moment, you want to lose 5 stone, 6 stone. That's at the forefront of your mind, and you know that is where you need to get to. Let's be real here. Like, saying that we need to lose 5 stone and 6 stone on day 1 is pretty scary. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, even on my own weight loss journey, 20 months, I knew I had about 5.5 stone to lose. But that sounded very daunting from the beginning. And if we it's nothing wrong with setting big goals, but being able to set micro goals, which is exactly what we do inside the Unbecoming project. Let me just get my iPad back on. Is what we do exactly inside the Unbecoming project as well through the Unbecoming roadmap. It helps our clients be able to have manageable goals that they feel like can be achieved, which is the most important thing as well for that motivation, because there's nothing worse than setting the goal so big that after 1 difficult day, 2 difficult days, it feels like you are basically fighting a losing battle. So always setting yourself some mini achievable goals as well. So within month one could be nice and simple. Let's say lose 6 pounds. And then within month 2, you want to be able to move that to, okay, I wanted to have lost 12 pounds by that time. Fantastic. By the end of month 3, you want to do another. So that's 18 pounds down in 3 months. You double that again. There we go. We're at 36 pounds down at the 6 month goal. Once we start to break it down smaller, it feels more achievable and is more motivating as well, because we are feeling wins pretty frequently. And that is exactly how we create momentum and the wins, that happy factor, that dopamine that we get from winning something, and that feeling of achieving something actually creates the motivation. It actually creates that dopamine that allows us to lay that on top of the wins that we're achieving, which makes sticking to the process a hell of a lot easier as well. So setting achievable goals is step number 1 to creating motivation. Step number 2 is one of the biggest ones that you'll probably see me talk about a hell of a lot, which is connecting to your why. Understanding what your why is on your fat loss journey in the first place. Because let me be honest with you, you saying, you waking up in the morning going, I want to lose weight, that will not motivate you to achieve the goal that you actually want to achieve. The biggest thing that you can do is ask yourself the question why, not just once. You may have heard this years ago when you were going through school, college, any form of study and stuff like that. You know, the 5 whys. That's one of the biggest things as well. We have the 5 why system. So we want to be able to dig deeper. So let's say, for example, you say to me, Mark, I want to lose weight. Okay, cool, perfect. Right. Why? Why is that? Well, You know, I no longer want to be that person who's having to wear layer upon layer upon layer to feel comfortable. Okay, cool. We don't want to layer up no more. We don't want to be hiding. Like layering up, hiding. We don't want that no more. But why? We dig deeper and we dig deeper because you want to feel seen. You don't want to be that person that is disappearing in the background of photos. You don't want to be that person that offers to take the photos and is never the person in the photo. This is the why that we really get deep on. And then if I was to ask you that question again, why do you not want to be that person at the back of the photo? No, sorry, why do you want to be the person in the photo, not the one taking it? Well, I've missed out on a lot of experiences and we've not been able to capture the moments, or you may have been able to look back at a certain time in your life at the moment and think, I wasn't in that picture, or wasn't in the photo with my kids, wasn't in that photo with my partner, wasn't in that photo with friends because of how I felt within myself. It's the same thing. We layer deeper upon that. Well, why? Because at the end of the day, I want to have memories to look back on in life. As you can see, we can do the same here again when it comes down to, I want to feel confident in my own skin. Well, why? Because, I want to feel better in front of my partner. I want to be able to take my top off in front of my partner. I want to be able to go on holiday and go to the beach with my partner, with my family, with the kids, and be able to take my t-shirt off and not be afraid. Well, why? Because my kids look up to me. As you can see, the deeper we get with our why and our purpose, it really fuels the fire and creates motivation. So one of my biggest bits of advice with this is when you connect with your why, write them down. Write down your list of 5 whys and revert back to them, because solely wanting to lose weight will not, really will not motivate you to get up in the morning, to get your step count done, gym sessions, to be adhering to your nutrition as well. But when you connect with your why and you get a little bit deeper with yourself, it actually allows you to be able to understand why you are doing this in the first place as well. So that is step number 2, connecting with your why and connecting with your purpose on your weight loss journey and health and fitness journey altogether. Step number 3, your environment is going to be super key. So step number 3, environment. Surround yourself with people who want to see you do well. So surround yourself. So look who's around you at the moment. Are these people that motivate you in life? Are these people that hold you back in life? Are you surrounded by a community? This is exactly what we have inside the Unbecoming Project as well. We have something called the Seen and Heard support system, which is one of the most important things that we like to have in place for all of our clients as well. But this also involves the community. The Unbecoming community that we have building allows our guys to be able to come together quite frequently, be able to connect, be able to share wins, be able to, either make friendships outside of, the program, which is fantastic. We've seen it over the years. People and clients coming together from different parts of the UK and Ireland, connecting, becoming friends. You end up building your environment and building your support network to be even bigger and more motivating than ever, which is a big thing as well. And that is why community, getting yourself embedded, getting yourself involved with a community that inspires you, will massively motivate you as well, because in a sense, it helps you push each other on. You see somebody else winning, you want to win. You see somebody else doing well, you want to do well. If you see somebody else that is struggling, you can resonate, you can motivate them. Being surrounded by people like that and being surrounded by incredible environments. This also links in with family, partner, friends. If you're around people who, let's say your environment at the moment is pulling you down slightly, people who are, let's say for example, not too fussed, like they're not fussed whether they feel confident or not. That doesn't mean me saying cut these people out of your life, because of course that's really important that we keep people like this in our life as well, if they're friends and family. But it's also about, as you can see, if we're surrounded by people who aren't fussed about fat loss, aren't fussed about actually wanting to improve, fussed about unbecoming who they were never supposed to be in the first place, then being surrounded by those people will have an impact on your energy over time and will have an impact on your motivation over time as well. This also links in really well. When you surround yourself with good people, you are involved in a community, you are involved in something more. And this is what I say with the Unbecoming Project. This is more than just a nutrition and training program. This is so much more. This is a community. This is a life-changing process as well. And with that being said, if you would actually like any more information on actually working with myself one-to-one and joining the Unbecoming Project, there's actually going to be details in the description below. Just DM me the word, message me the word coaching on Instagram, and I'll fire over all the details that you need. But straight back over to this. That is step number 3. Surround yourself with a positive environment. Friends, family, partner, community. Embed yourself into a community that is going to help you better yourself. And step number 4 is track and celebrate your progress, which is one of the biggest ones that I don't see many people doing. A lot of people wait until they hit the end destination to celebrate. No, your end destination, let me just remind you of something, will never stay the same. It will always get better. The goalpost will always move. You set a freestyle weight loss target, guess what? You achieve that freestyle weight loss target and you may turn your goals and attention to toning up, build a little bit of muscle, running your first half marathon, doing your first Hyrox event, maintaining it could be absolutely anything. So tracking and celebrating your progress along the way is really important. So these are like, for example, let me just get the iPad back on again. These are, for example, mini micro goals. So let's just list a few out. So of course, scale wins is one. But same thing with this, we don't always want to be reliant on the scale wins because there's a lot more wins that are outside of this. This could be, your overall fitness levels. So have you noticed the difference of, let's say, going up the stairs, a simple win, going up the stairs and not being breathless, being able to play with your kids and actually being able to keep up with them, actually being the one that they need to keep up with. That's a win. That's actually a massive win when I say it out loud, but it's one that a lot of the time people will not celebrate as well. Scale wins, fitness wins, confidence in clothes. This is another win. Yes, of course, that can sometimes link in with, obviously body fat coming down in the scale perspective, but feeling confident wearing a piece of clothing that you've spent years wanting to get back into and now you're finally back into it. That's another win. Even if we had to go another layer on top of that, your training wins. Like, are you getting PBs within your training? Are you improving? Are you lifting heavy within your training? Are you feeling fitter within your training? These are all big things. Even lifestyle wins. Because you're focused on yourself, which I do see this quite frequently. Have you had more opportunities? Have you had a promotion in work? Are you showing up better in day-to-day life? Are your family starting to feel the positive effects of your new lifestyle? These are all things that we need to be celebrating, and this is links back to what I was saying earlier within this lesson and this training, is our mind works off dopamine. So if we celebrate these wins and we celebrate them, this naturally gives our body this pattern of, I want to do more of this, I want to do more of this. It creates motivation. It creates that urge to do more. When we don't celebrate anything and we wait until we've hit the, let's say, the tip of the iceberg, the result that we set out to achieve, if we're only waiting to celebrate until we hit that point, it may take a long period of time. For me, it took nearly 20 months because my weight loss journey was so much bigger and I had a lot planned within that period of time, but there was loads of micro goals that were achieved along the way. Every time that they were achieved, it boosted my motivation even more. It made me want to do it even more. When you feel that reward, it's the same thing as anything in life. Let's say, for example, let's say traveling down the country, and let's say it was just, you were just heading down there, you were just heading down there, heading back. You wouldn't be motivated to do it, would you? You wouldn't be motivated to just drive down to the bottom of the country just to drive back again. However, if we added the thing on top of that, if once you drove down to the bottom of the country, bottom of the UK, bottom of Ireland, and you were going to a nice, lovely meal out, catch up with friends, a couple of nice drinks, a nice spa morning, a little weekend away, we get that. We get that more of a motivation and a reason and a purpose to want to go. You see what I'm saying in regards to we get that dopamine from that? This is the exact same when it comes down to celebrating small wins as well, because it starts to give us that dopamine back that's going to create that motivation to get to exactly where we want to be. Hopefully that makes sense as well there. So these are the 4 steps that we can take to create motivation for ourselves, and especially now moving out of summer and moving into the autumn period, this is exactly how we can create it, which is one of the biggest things. Yes, discipline will play a factor within it, but all these hustle bros and hustle culture nowadays, they do not understand you the way I may potentially understand you after being in your shoes before. Motivation is a difficult thing. I know we won't feel it every single day, which of course is completely natural. However, I am confident that if we implement these 4 steps that we've touched upon so far today, we just have a slight little bit of a quick recap on them. We have a look at setting achievable goals, micro goals, exactly what we do inside the Unbecoming roadmap with the team. 1 month goal, 3 month goals, 6 month goals, what would we like to achieve, and having a roadmap and a GPS to get exactly where you want to be. Then, number 2, connect with your why, connect with your purpose. Understand why you want to lose weight in the first place, why you want to feel confidence in your skin. You want to bin the baggy clothing routine. You want to bin that as a little bit of a disguise. You actually want to feel seen not the one that's in the background. You don't want to be laughing and joking at your own, basically, expense and suspense. Weird, either way. You don't want to be laughing and joking at yourself in company just to hide anymore. These are really deep reasons, but will actually motivate you to continue to keep things moving forward. Then, if we look on to number 3, environment. Surround yourself with a like-minded community, like-minded people, like-minded friends and family who want to see you do well. Another big thing as well. There to motivate you, there to encourage you, and there to push you on forward. And then last but not least, of course, track and celebrate your progress. All the micro wins, all the smaller wins that you may achieve along the way. Scale wins, fitness wins, confidence, training, lifestyle, the benefit that your family are feeling off your new lifestyle. And even when it comes down to tracking your data, monitoring how your weight is moving, monitoring the inches of your body, your actual body measurements, tracking, for example, your 5k time, your 10k time, seeing these improvements all around. Being able to track data allows us to be able to reflect, overview, and once we have that look at that overview, there's a lot of wins that we will potentially find within there as well. So with that being said, that is a full wrap up of exactly the steps that you can take moving into the mid-September, back into September now, at the time of recording this, to create that motivation moving into the winter months as well. So with that being said, as I said a little bit earlier, if you'd like any more information on joining the Unbecoming Project and working with myself one-to-one, all the details are in the description, as well as a link to our free school community and a 7-day free fat loss kickstart course. So with that being said, if you want access to anything like that, check the description below, and I'll see you on the next one. Let's go.